In Britain, we have grossly offensive criminal memes, believe it or not. This isn't good news. This is the sorry state of free speech in Britain. If you say something that is not politically correct and you have a picture and you send that picture via an electronic medium, you can actually go to jail for that in this country because we're just some backwater tyranny now. But anyway, before we start, if you'd like to support us, go over to lotus.com, sign up, and check out this latest article we have from John Tangney, which is about Sigma males and school shooters. How these people have essentially been failed by society, and how much worse it gets from there. But I won't dwell on that. Let's carry on because we're running out of time. In 2018, you might remember that a man was arrested for his effigy of the Grenfell Tower burning. Now, let's be very clear. This is in bad taste. Very bad taste.
Yes.
The Grenfell fire was a tragedy. Something 72 people died, I think it was. Obvious tragedy. And, whoever was responsible for that should be held to account. Yes, everyone agrees. Conversely, people saying things about it, as in bad taste as it might be, shouldn't be a crime.
No.
That's my opinion.
No.
And this happened. 5 men were arrested in connection to a video that they uploaded stupidly to the internet. Even in 2018, you'd think people would have known, look, you can't just upload things to the internet these days. Yeah. You've got to be careful. Piers Morgan was leading the charge. We need to find out who they are. Thanks, Piers. Really helping people out because he got triggered by this. And no, I'm not even joking. He was literally triggered by it. So they were arrested on suspicion of offence under the Public Order Act, where they had committed where the words behaviour are used in writing or a sign of visible representation is displayed by a person inside a dwelling and blah, blah, blah. They put it on the internet, basically. And so it turned out this was a chap called Paul Bassetti, who was a man from London in Croydon who pleaded guilty for this. The clip was recorded at a party in South London a year after the Grenfell Tower fire, and he was given a 10-week suspended jail sentence for this. He admitted that, this was, as he says, grossly offensive, but the judge was like, well, I suspect it was offensive to almost everyone who had an ounce of decency about them. Yeah, maybe. So?
Yeah.
I
find James O'Brien deeply offensive, and that offence is an opinion. A lot of people would probably not a lot of people would laugh at it, but people would, I feel, generally see that this was, just bad taste joke.
Yeah.
It was a bad taste joke. Frankie Boyle, who discussed earlier on, how many bad taste things has he done?
Man, the number of rape jokes, and rape jokes of children, that Frankie Boyle has done. That I, as a father, I have to say, don't really appreciate.
No.
But I don't think he should go to jail for them.
No.
Believe it or not.
No, the
you just don't watch him.
No, exactly.
You just don't turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what we say to our commenters. If you don't like it, turn over. Turn off.
You're totally free to do it. You've got all the power in the world to curate your own media feed these days.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the problems with social media is that people get siloed into these echo chambers where they never see a dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
So don't come to me and say, oh, well, I had no choice but to watch it. Yeah, you did. Anyway. So Bassetti was initially acquitted by a high court, but then this was reversed because the Crown Prosecution Service appealed his acquittal.
Yeah.
So the Crown Prosecution Service was like, well, no, we've got to get him on something. We're not having this. This guy has to go down for this. It's like, really, why?
That is shocking.
Isn't
Because
that disgusting?
the CPS said to you, well, I'm sorry, we don't get involved in any cases or any proceedings. We just say yes or no. Yeah, that's what they told us.
Yeah.
The only two things the CPS need to do is make sure that they got a reasonable chance of winning and make sure it's in the public interest. That is it. So
yeah, he was ordered to have a retrial after the CPS got involved. And he faced the retrial and also has to pay the CPS's cost of $6,000. So it's cost him $6,000 for the Crown. Why are you getting involved? The High Court's made a decision and they're like, no, we're not having that. And so in April 2022, he got his suspended sentence. Again, this has been going on for years for this man. Don't get me wrong, stupid video. It is offensive.
Yeah.
But so what? He was sentenced to 10 weeks, suspended for 2 years after admitting a grossly offensive viral video of the tower, blah, blah, blah. And so this comes to the point where it's like, right, okay, well, if that's for the Grenfell tragedy, that's actually quite a localized affair. It's only in Britain.
Yeah.
People care about that. What if you were to make a meme about George Floyd? Saint George Floyd, I think, is the official term. Well, Sgt Jones of Devon found out. He posted an image of George Floyd, an altered image, in May 2020, and he got a warning. He admitted gross misconduct, and they say that he breached the professional standards of authority, respect and courtesy, equality, diversity, duties and responsibility, and discreditable conduct. And so he's got a 5-year warning. The warnings are remaining in place 5 years. Now, I mean, that's okay, not great. A 5-year warning for a silly meme, not great, but okay. It's just a warning.
Yeah.
It's just a warning. He's not going to do it again, I assume. But what if you live in Birmingham? If you live in Birmingham and you post a George Floyd meme, you are going to jail. You are actually going to jail. So this was James Watts, a married father of one serving with West Mercia Police, shared the grossly offensive material in a group chat, which included former colleagues at a Warwickshire prison. And it's like, well, that was stupid, wasn't it, James? Birmingham Magistrates Court, the Deputy Chief Magistrate Tan Ikram heard that the 31-year-old was charged following an inquiry. One of the memes featured a white dog wearing a KKK clothing, and another one displayed a kneeling mat with George Floyd's face printed upon it. Right. So, again, offensive and stupid.
I've seen worse. I've seen more offensive memes about Boris Johnson, for example, from probably these types of people.
Yeah, I think that's a particular. I mean, with the George Floyd thing, it's a bit like the army. The army, there was an incident in Northern Ireland, and a car was shot up. The people inside were dead, but they were breaking a traffic, a cordon.
Yeah,
and it was night, and they didn't know who was coming, so they didn't know whether they were terrorists or joyriders.
Right.
Turned out to be joyriders. The day after, in the barracks, a photograph of the car damaged and got holes in it, and it was for sale. And it had something like somebody who's good with repairing body repair. Is that a way of getting over the stress that's just gone through?
Well, this is the English sense of humour.
It is the English sense, and with this guy being a police officer and seeing what happened before, before George Floyd was taken out of the car and then placed on the floor.
I don't think he was murdered by the police.
No.
I've seen the videos.
Yes.
I watched the trial. The police officer wasn't charged with a racial hate crime.
No.
I don't think it was a racist murder.
No.
But it doesn't matter. But anyway, other images, which Mr. Ikram said undermined the confidence the public has in the police, made jokes about George Floyd's death, featuring pictures of George of the Jungle and the children's game Guess Who. Watts accepted in police interviews that the messages were racist in nature. So they're racist jokes. That's what they are, clearly. They're memes. And so he pleaded guilty to 10 counts of sending a grossly offensive or menacing message by a public communication network. And I think what's interesting is Mr. Ikram's statements after jailing Mr. Watts, which I take exception to. He says, these are the most serious offences.
Really?
In Birmingham. These memes are the most serious offences, are they?
Yeah.
I wish we got that FGM deep data for Birmingham now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be worse going on in Birmingham. I mean, I've seen loads of viral videos of people fighting in the streets with machetes coming out of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Quite often. Yeah.
Shootings, shoot-bys.
Yeah. But no, this is the worst. These are the most serious offences.
Yeah. But why do these people not realise, though, that they're saying, sharing a bad taste meme, makes the police look bad? I personally think that sharing Lord Floyd and all this stuff by police officers, that's what makes police look bad.
Wearing a rainbow badge makes them look bad to me. I find that grossly offensive.
Yes.
Will that be actioned? Of course not.
Yeah.
At every stage since you were found out, you have cooperated with authorities and accepted you're wrong, but the fact remains that over a period of about a month, you continue to post messages that were grossly offensive. Okay. I do not agree with your advocate that this was stupidity or foolishness. This goes far beyond that. It's like, well, what are you saying? If it goes far beyond him being stupid and foolish, what are you saying? Are you saying that he's intending to denigrate black people or something? I don't even know what he's trying to get at. It just seems like the English sense of humor.
Yeah. Did he make the memes? Yeah. Did he create them himself?
But even if he did, okay, well, so what?
Yeah.
They're just jokes on the internet. that
Yeah.
you don't like.
Yeah.
But listen to this. Ikram continued, "You were previously a prison officer. I have no doubt that you would have received training in relation to diversity and inclusion in that role." There we go. That's the problem. This has tripped the diversity and inclusion ideological authority that this judge is handing down. So he's woke. This is a crime against wokeness.
Yeah.
That's why he's being imprisoned here. Right? And so he says, "Your behavior brings the criminal justice system as a whole into disrepute. You were there to protect the public and enforce the law, but what you did was the complete opposite." He posted a meme in a WhatsApp group, mate.
Yeah.
You know, if he was taking bribes or something, I'd be like, you just bring the whole thing into disrepute.
Yeah.
He posted a meme. "This hostility that you demonstrated on the basis of race makes this offending so serious that I cannot deal with it with a community penalty or fine." There we go. This is a progressive attack on an Englishman for his sense of humor.
Yeah.
For posting, well, I just thought it was a funny joke. Yeah, you did. But that's a crime against progressivism. And so the judge, who is obviously ideologically possessed, is like, no, you're going to have to go to jail. This is so serious. It's worse than any machete attack that could happen on the streets of Birmingham, right? And honestly, I think there's an aspect of this. Okay, what are the numbers? What are the numbers for people sentenced for hate crimes on the basis of race? Like, how many white people are sentenced to hate crimes? How many non-white people are sentenced for hate crimes? Like, I looked for these figures, couldn't find them.
Couldn't find them.
I could just find the aggregate total. I couldn't find a racial breakdown of how many black people are sentenced for hate crimes, how many white people, how many Asian people. You can't find them. And it's because I think there are very few non-white people who are sentenced to hate crimes. And so, Mr. Ikram, if I was a progressive, I would be able to say, well, this seems like a racial bias on the part of the judge. I'm not a progressive, so I'm not going to say that, but I think that would be one aspect that you could analyze, isn't it? But he says, anyway, a message must go out, and that message can only go out through immediate sentence of imprisonment. A message must go out that racist memes are imprisonable crimes.
You can imagine the canteen talk. You know, what are you in for? Murder.
Yeah.
What are you in for? Oh, rape. What are you in for? Posted a meme.
Posted a George Floyd meme. And they're kind of like, oh, God, really?
yeah. Pedophiles are staying away from him.
It's like, he's
don't
posting
believe that
racist
guy.
memes, mate. Exactly. Oh, God, I've got the disapprobation of the pedos now. They're spitting on me as I walk past. Like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And so, this is the state of meme culture in Britain at the moment. Don't post something. You're going to get in trouble for it. You know, just be aware.
Thanks for watching this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters. If you enjoyed that and are interested in finding more, you can subscribe and check out our premium content at lotuseaters.com. For example, our recent premium video, Legacy Media Catches Dementia, between Carl and Callum. If you're interested in following Callum on social media, you can do so at Getter @Callum. Thank you and goodbye.